Hi, I'm Christy Rost. One of the things I love about traveling is the food memories that I take home with me. The flavors and culinary traditions I later create in my own kitchen. The recipes I'll share with you in today's show come from recent travels. Welcome to At Home with Christy Rost. So I'm going to begin here at the grill to prepare a recipe that I had in Portugal. And it's interesting because in Portugal, every time I went to a restaurant at lunchtime with my husband, Randy, on the menu would be Portuguese chicken salad. Well, the first time I thought, so what is Portuguese chicken salad? I think I need to check this out. And while I'm talking with you, I'm just seasoning my chicken breast here with some kosher salt and some freshly ground black pepper. So the first time I had Portuguese chicken salad, it was a fantastic little restaurant that is just little tiny, but across the road in the boulevard area of the street in the center, that's where the seating was. So Randy and I sat down in this wonderful little place, and the waiters would run back and forth across the street, stopping to watch for traffic. It was an interesting experience. So when the dish arrived, it was a grilled chicken breast that had been pounded and beautiful salad greens, beautiful sliced tomatoes, egg, sliced hard-cooked egg, Mediterranean olives, a little bit of Iberico ham. It was just a beautiful presentation, a very simple vinaigrette, and for a light and refreshing kind of lunch or a light dinner, it was really perfect. So then we went on to another town, and there was again Portuguese chicken salad. So I thought, I wonder if it's the same. Well, out of 4 tries with Portuguese chicken salad, I had the same basic formula 3 times, and one time was kind of an American version. It was chopped lettuce with chunks of chicken breast on top, and that one was extremely disappointing. But the others were so beautiful. I thought, this is really simple cooking, easy to do, very inexpensive to create, and whether you're making it for one or making it for a number of people, it's just a really nice little recipe. So I thought I'd do it for you today because it's one of the things I took back from my trip to Portugal. And what's really cool is this fall, October 2025, I will be returning to Portugal. I'll be going on Atlas Ocean voyages from Dublin, Ireland to Lisbon, Portugal. So I'm going to be looking for a Portuguese chicken salad when I get there. Let me see what this chicken's doing. It's been pounded very thin. Oh yeah, so I've got some pretty little grill marks here, just getting started. So this isn't going to take very long, but it's nicely seasoned. It's just going to be a wonderful meal in the spring, summer, fall. So we'll let this cook and we'll come right back. So the chicken breast is ready. It only took a few minutes to cook on each side. And oh look, it's beautiful. Okay, so let's take this inside, put the salad together, and I think you're going to be pretty impressed because I was. Now that the chicken breast is all cooked, I can begin to compose my salad. So I like to put one big leaf of green leaf lettuce there and use that kind of as a base. And then I just tear up this lettuce into bite-sized pieces. And this is pretty much what I had every time I had a chicken salad. Like I mentioned earlier, I will be going back to Portugal this fall. I'm the guest chef on Atlas Ocean Voyages. We will be going from Dublin to Lisbon. We're going to stop in Bordeaux. We're going to stop in La Rochelle. In fact, we're going to actually overnight in Bordeaux. I'm really excited. We're going to stop in Waterford. I've never been to Ireland. This is really, really exciting for me to be able to do this. And the ships they're small ships, maximum 180, 190 guests. The wines and spirits are included. The cuisine is lovely. I love their luncheons. I always get the salad at luncheons. I guess it's a thing for me, and why I would have ordered the Portuguese chicken salad, because I do love salads at lunchtime. So I'm taking some tomato and slicing it rather thinly. And anyway, and while I'm on board, I will be doing cooking demos. I will be cooking in the dining room. Probably an appetizer is probably what I'll make. And whatever I'm making will be on the menu, so guests can select that. And y'all should come with me. You should come. Have a great experience. Go to places maybe you adore and want to go back, or go to places you've never seen. Come with me. It's going to be so much fun. And and maybe you will come away with a recipe idea that you can take home with you and say, oh, I had the best whatever at this place or that place. And you're going to go with me and then come home and do that. So that is October 11 to 21 of 2025. Love to have you. We would have a blast together. Okay, so I've got my tomatoes arranged. I am going to add some fresh spinach, because very often I found that there was spinach in my salads, which I really like. It's always so crisp and so lovely, and it's good for you too. So I'm always big on that. Oh, come back. There we go. And then let's slice some egg. Put a little egg in here. Always had eggs. Eggs on everything. They put eggs on hamburgers. And interesting, a hamburger in Portugal is not at all like hamburger here. They have kind of like a toast on the bottom, and then they have the beef, and then it's more of a puff pastry on top, but it always has a fried egg in there too. So there we go. I'm going to keep this for later for me. I'll put that there. Okay. At this point, I think it's time to transfer the chicken breast. And it's always served whole, not sliced. So I kind of like that. I mean, for presentation purposes, it's really nice. And then Mediterranean olives were always part of the dish because it's one of the main crops, olives. And I'll just put a couple here. Let me move this one, put that there. It's all done very artistically, and you can arrange things any way you want. But even if you aren't doing like a chicken salad exactly, this gives you an idea of how to compose a salad to make it really, really attractive. Then I'm going to mix up a vinaigrette. So I have a little bit of red wine vinegar and some extra virgin olive oil, and just whisk this together like that. Super simple. And then some kosher salt in here, or sea salt, whatever you like, and some freshly ground black pepper. And just whisk that together really well, and drizzle this over the greens. Pretty. Over the tomato. Beautiful. Going to the markets was fun in Portugal. Really, really fun. And we started in Lisbon, but then we rented a car and we drove around. The Douro River Valley, if you've never been there, oh, check that out. The hillsides, the mountains are just covered in vineyards, and the wines are beautiful. Then I'm going to season my salad. And a little more on the chicken breast. And a little salt. Go easy on the salt, you don't need a lot. but just a tad. And then one of the things that was very common was a very thin slice or two of Iberico ham. Iberico ham comes from Spain. And since that's not so easy to get here, and it's extremely expensive here, but I just am using prosciutto. You'll get the same flavor profile. And they just kind of draped it across the salad. And that is a Portuguese chicken salad.
Experience an immersive culinary adventure with Atlas Ocean Voyages. Led by seasoned experts, savor regional flavors and exclusive culinary moments. Discover captivating destinations and authentic traditions aboard elegant, all-inclusive yachts hosting fewer than 200 guests. Atlas Ocean Voyages, where every Epicurean adventure is a feast for the senses.
I hope you enjoyed the salad, and now I'm going to share another recipe from another very different place. This recipe is a lemon chicken tagine from Casablanca. And I had the opportunity to go to Casablanca last fall on Atlas Ocean Voyages. So I have this gorgeous 6-quart skillet from Viking Culinary Cookware, and I've added a little olive oil. And I like to always kind of tilt my pan a little bit, swirl that olive oil around a little to kind of coat the bottom, and then add in a generous helping of chopped sweet onion. So what is a tagine? Well, a tagine is a dish that is essentially kind of braised, but it always starts with onion and garlic and other wonderful aromatics. And then the chicken is put in and browned and then turned over. But in Casablanca, when we had it, and we went to a restaurant with a whole group from our ship, they made individual tagines for everybody. And one of the chefs came out and actually showed us how to make it. You never saw so many people taking photos in your whole life. And I was right there among them. I was taking a photo of every step so I wouldn't forget what I was seeing. And the tagine, this is actually called a tagine. And it has, this lid is very customary. And the chicken and the aromatics and all are put right into this dish. And it is put over the fire and over the heat and cooked right there. And then to do the steaming part, the braising part, the lid is placed on top. It has a little hole here, a little vent hole. And everybody got their own tagine. It was quite an experience and so delicious. So I thought, you know, I'm gonna make this for you, because if you didn't hear the word chicken tagine, you'd say, oh, a braised chicken dish. That sounds really good. So if you're a little bit reticent about some of the foods from other lands, then just know that basically this is a braised chicken dish, okay? So I'm going to put a little ginger in this, and I'm using a spoon to peel some of the skin off of the ginger, because you don't want that part. It's very fibrous. Keeping an eye on these onions over here. Just cut the little bits off there. Move this aside. And I'll take just a little more while I watch these onions sweat in here. Everything about the trip to Casablanca was just fascinating. But before we went there, we also went to Tangier. Both of these are in Morocco. I didn't know what to expect when I got to Tangier. That was the very first stop in Morocco. I didn't know what to expect, and I found that I absolutely loved it. First of all, who knew I didn't know. The people speak French. Well, I speak French too. So I was able to communicate with the shopkeepers and all. And it's so nice when you can actually communicate with people in, when you're visiting a different country. So I'm just going to chop this a little bit. They have beautiful, beautiful fresh food markets there. Just beautiful. And spice markets. Oh my gosh, the spice markets are incredible. Time to stir this. These onions are going to play a really important role in this dish. So I'm chop this a little more. The spices, all the ground spices, are made into huge mounds. They almost look like pyramids. They're sculpted on the sides, so they're multi-sided, and they stand this tall. And so when you want some, they just take some out of that mound of the spices and put it in a little bag, and off you go. So it was just an incredible, such a cultural experience and a sensory experience because you can smell it everywhere. It was fascinating. I loved it. And I did buy some spices, which I then used on the ship during one of my recipes that I made in the dining room. So I believe I spoke earlier about this cruise. Come with me. It's just going to be fascinating. Please come with me. From Dublin to Lisbon. Okay, so I added in my chopped. I'm going to add a teeny more oil here, just teeny. I added in my chopped garlic and my chopped ginger. Quick stir. And now I'm going to move the onion to the side of the pan, okay, all around, like a ring. And I have beautiful chicken thighs here. I'm going to season them with some salt, of course, salt. And, sometimes they come with a whole lot of extra skin on them. Go ahead and take a pair of kitchen shears and trim that off, that excess. You don't need that. And some freshly ground pepper. Now I'm going to transfer the chicken, skin side down, into the skillet. Beautiful. Oh, this is just such a delicious dish. I hardly know how to tell you how yummy it is. I'm going to let you judge for yourself, because when you see this at the end, you're going to say, I want to make that. There we go. And now I will season it again on this side. I'm going to cook the chicken for about 5 to 10 minutes. Just let it sear until the skin is nice and brown. Then we'll turn it over and we'll continue with the recipe. So let's give me a few minutes to get this time to brown. Developed over 20 years ago through classic breeding at Washington State University's tree fruit program, the Cosmic Crisp apple is known for its perfectly balanced flavor, remarkable texture, juiciness, and striking color. These qualities make the Cosmic Crisp apple ideal for a versatile range of uses, from snacking and baking to cocktails, juicing, decor, and more. Available nationwide at grocery stores in all seasons, the Cosmic Crisp apple is now one of the nation's best-selling apples. Cosmic Crisp is hands down my favorite apple, and I'm honored to have Cosmic Crisp as a returning sponsor of At Home with Christy Rost. So the chicken has taken about 10 minutes to get nice and brown on the skin side, and I'm going to turn it over now. And I have to say, this deep saute pan that Viking makes is just perfect for this. Look how pretty the skin is. See, pretty color. You don't want it dark. You just want it a real nice golden color there, because that adds flavor. Ooh, pretty. And one of the things I really like about this dish, besides the fact that it tastes incredible, is it's really very easy to make, and it's ready in under an hour. And in my book, that's a big deal. So then I take the onion mixture that I've been moved to the side and I put it over top of the chicken. So just decorate the tops just like this with all this nice onion. We've got some nice caramelization going on down here too at this end of the pan. So that's kind of nice. That will add extra flavor as well. And golly, isn't enjoying a meal all about the flavor and the gathering around the table with those you love and like to be with? There we go. Now, I'm going to sprinkle this with some turmeric, which is a very typical Moroccan seasoning. So pretty too, beautiful color. I will tell you, it stains like crazy, so be careful of your clothes when you do this. There, that's good. And I need to also put on some lemon zest. So this is that cute little container from Tavolo. It's multi-level, it does all kinds of things. So I just need the grater today. You see. So I'm going to take a lemon and zest it right over all this chicken. This is a really fresh tasting dish. Remember, you just want the yellow zest part. You don't want the white pith. The lemon really helps bring out the flavor, makes it very, very bright and sunny kind of flavor. And I'm going to also add some little tiny saffron threads. Little tiny threads. They are from a crocus plant. And each plant only has 3 little stamens. That's what these are, the stamens. And my friend, Chef Joel, who's in the prep kitchen right now, in fact, he and I always work together at home with Christy Rost. He loves telling the story that, I'm gonna add some water to this, by the way, about a cup, 3/4 to a cup, that somebody on the other side of the world hand-picked those little stamens out of the flour. And that's how you have the joy of that flavor, which is so typical of Moroccan cooking, but also in Spain. In fact, I got these little saffron threads in the large market in Barcelona. Also part of the Atlas Ocean Voyages cruise experience. And I had been to that market before. It's absolutely marvelous. So at this point, what I found was when the chef in the restaurant in Casablanca had the tagine all made and was making it for us, and he used one just like this, then he cut a lemon in half and he placed it right in the dish. Like this. And then you put the lid on and let this cook for about 20 to 30 minutes, depending on your heat and how many chicken thighs you have in there. And then you're gonna add some little new potatoes like this. And the way I like to do it is just put them around the outside of the chicken and cook until they are tender. And voila, dinner. So I wanted you to see what the chicken tagine looks like. It's all ready for me to plate, but I wanted you to see the potatoes are a ring around all of the chicken, and I added them when the chicken was almost done and just added them in so they would get nice and tender. And that only takes about 10 minutes because they're pretty small. And so I've got my lemon sitting there on top of the chicken, all of those beautiful aromatics there. The water has now become a very rich broth. So I'm going to plate this and we'll be right back. Today's recipes, the chicken salad from Portugal and the lemon chicken tagine from Casablanca. Both are a perfect pairing with this wine from Dao. This is the Dao Sauvignon Blanc. It is bright, refreshing, citrus notes, grapefruit, tropical. And the reason it's such a good pairing, you've got all that lemon here. We have those same flavors and aromas and notes in this wine. And because it's so refreshing, it is perfect with a chicken salad. So today's pairing, the Dao Sauvignon Blanc. Thanks so much for joining me today on At Home with Christy Rost, where great food, beautiful wines, and hospitality are a tradition. I hope you were inspired by the flavors I brought home from my travels. Today's recipes are on my ChristyRost.com website. I'd like to thank our sponsors, Atlas Ocean Voyages, Cosmic Crisp Apples, Viking Culinary Cookware, and Little Bear Honey. Thanks also to our friends at Bean Candle Company, Dao Vineyards, Fortessa, Melissa's Produce, and Tavolo. See you next time.